Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Lionel, and I'm your host for LT Productions, and you are watching I Watch You Watch. We are covering the First Ladies of Freight. They are currently on Roku and also they have a YouTube platform. I am enjoying the series and I'm catching up. We're going to be discussing um, episodes 3 to 5, and I still got to catch up. But a lot has transpired. Again, this is not a dramatic type show in the way of uh, storylines, who trying to get each other. No, it's women of color who are in the trucking business. And right now we're getting introduced to all the ladies. And one of the main goals is to have the world's biggest or first biggest women in trucking expo, where everybody can come around and just learn whatever trade each of these women represent. So shout out to the Compass Circle and Miss Casey. I think her last name is Corey. Sorry if I forgot your last name. Forgot. I do apologize. Um, I appreciate this reality. Again, it's kind of like a more somewhat like docu-series reality show, kind of like Kate Plus 8 back in the day, or Married at First Sight when it first started. Not what it is now, because all they just trying to do is get clicks and views, in my opinion. So it's that old school type of reality show that we had in the early 2000s. Anyway, so next up is Casey. She's going to be visiting Sheila Michelle. She's in Atlanta and she's an Atlanta native. She has her own laboratories and she's responsible for helping trucking companies get DOT compliant. And her specialties is testing each driver for drugs or alcohol. So um, she's really working close with Casey in her sending her clients and all that good stuff. It's kind of what I want to say. The business goes hand in hand. Like Casey gets new people into her program and then starts trucking, and then to get them DOT compliant, that's where Sheila comes in and gets them drug tested. That's part of the business. You know, you gotta have the CDL and all that good stuff. So, um, she said how they first met. Sheila was supposed to be a part of some type of promo business thing. Do this, and then you can get a drug screening or whatever type of screening. It didn't really happen, but everything shifted where Casey was like, "Hey, why don't we go into a partnership? I would recommend whomever to your business and all that good stuff as some way as a link." And this is part of, I think, part of the package that Casey has, along with Sheila getting her cut and all that good stuff. So I think it's pretty good that women of color can link together and make some of this stuff happen and keep it all in the family. I think it's really cool. So, let's see. Sheila, she does describe her background a little bit. She was a high school dropout. She was in and out of foster homes, made a lot of bad decisions. Kind of got things together. She took a lot of accelerated programs and she graduated from high school. And then she went to college and then ended up dropping out there too. But she says that she finally got herself together completely when she turned 22, 23 years old. The reason that she even began doing this is of her son. But before I get there, she's from corporate America where she worked as a technologist for 25 years. She got out of that after her son died. It was gang related and drug related. And from there, I think drug related. Hopefully. I don't know. Um, from there, her son, I think, was like 24. He died at 24. So she started this business about 6 years ago. Um, let's see. She talks a little bit about how the business has been ran, about the employees. She said that she's had 35 employees as far as turnover. She feels like her leadership and their employeeship kind of clashed with some. Also, she found herself trying to be competitive, so she was trying to hire all these people and it wasn't really working out. And then you just have some, I'm gonna say this. This is not what Sheila said. You just got some bums that come up in here. I'm saying that. That's not what she said. Um, so, why 10250? 10250. I can't remember what 10250 was. Uh, Whatever. I'll get that in just a second. But she's about to close down the local clinic that she does have, and she's going to be working out in the field and still be able to do the same things that she has been doing. She did receive an award. She received 100 million in gross revenue. I guess the past fiscal year. So congratulations to you, Miss Sheila Michelle. All right. So of course, Casey is inviting Sheila to come to California, mingle with the other girls, Shantae and Tiana. And there's a project that she's working on, and she wants Sheila to be involved, and Sheila does comply. All right. So we get to California, and really the ladies, they sit around and just get to know one another. Shantae is the first one just to introduce herself and a little bit about how they got started and where they are as far as business. Their goal is to retire, her and her husband, within 10 years. She loves to turn up, loves to party, and also traveling. Casey does butt in and says, hey, now she's being modest as far as the parties, but she lives around a lot of celebs, and Casey personally does travel out there at least once a year. I think once a year, and party, and they live it up. So we learn Sheila Michelle that she's got 4 biological children and 3 bonus children. She ends up talking in her confessional about when she got the call that her son died. She first didn't believe it. Then she was like accepting, okay, well, possibly he just got shot in the leg or something. Nothing really serious or whatever. Time had went on, and she was trying to figure out what's going on, and she had to end up calling the coroner to find out what actually happened to her son, and her son DJ did pass away. So now she's going to be going around as far as the field work that she's doing, going to technical schools and high schools, and she mentioned some other place, but I couldn't remember what it was, and offering her services there, and just pitching to different ones. Hey, there's more to life than doing illegal drugs. So I think that that's really great. Recruit these folks in and get them employment, and then also starting their own business. Tiana. She does speak of her children. She has a 13-year-old, 10-year-old, and 7-year-old, and also a stepson. Casey asks, what is it like? Because, Tiana, she's out on the road. She's a trucker. And she's asking, how is it with the guys? How do they treat her? And she says, it could be quite a pain in the butt, but she's really careful because there's a lot of weirdos out there. And Tiana's like, they trying to come around here. Can you fill up my tank? How about that? Of course, that doesn't really go that way because, both their baby fathers have been in jail. One baby father was just coming in, and the other one, who's currently in, Maurice, is in jail. She's not dating at this moment, and Maurice has already been gone for 3 years, and she's been holding it down and has not been dating anyone. I think Shantae actually do you get to have sex? As far as going to the prison, they said no. They just write each other and just talk on the phone, things of that nature. Tiana talks a little bit about in the confessional about where Pretty Pocket came from. She was around different ones. Her friends, or maybe some of her family too, they were calling each other broke pretty girls, and basically it kind of morphed into pretty girls who always were trying to do things to get what they want instead of seizing the opportunity to get what you want as far as business wise, instead of trying to get it out of a person in that way. And so Pretty Pockets was birthed out of that whole situation. Casey talks a little bit later on about almost going belly up multiple times with the business. She's been in the business over 20 years. So There's been times where she had to choose. Yeah, so Casey had to figure out if she was going to pay her mortgage or her truck payment, whatever that is, you know. So the ladies do play a little trivia, and um, basically it was just asking little different questions like who's been to jail, who has had sex in a truck bed, and all that good stuff. Just another icebreaker to get to know one another. Um, let's see. So then Casey finally opens up on what she wants to do with all the ladies, which is um, the expo. And they were planning on doing probably like 4 cities to bring it to whomever who actually wants to learn. The ultimate goal is inspiration. All right. So in episode 4, it's Tiana centered. So we know that she is a trucker. Um, she just lets us know that she gets down and dirty. Also, she can change her own oil or tire, anything. If you're not intimidated, I can change yours too. Basically, that's how she is. Um, we go into her home life. We get to know Charlie, Maurice, aka M3, and Chanya. I think that's how or Shania is her name, and Thaddeus. Um, we get to know a little bit about their personalities, and I really like how they are. They're very open and really camera ready, just to express themselves. Of course, Chenya, which I really like, she likes All American Grey's Anatomy. I watch both of those shows. Shout out to them both, and she's thinking about becoming a doctor. Um, Tiana ends up breaking down what has been going on as to why Maurice is in prison right now. There was a federal indictment with, I guess they had a music studio, and his artist, Maurice's artist, ended up getting arrested and indicted. Um, After that, both Maurice and Tiana decided, okay, well, since the music business is not here for us right now, we'll go into trucking. And they ended up getting their CDLs. The plan is that Maurice was supposed to be driving the trucks, and she would be behind the scenes. Well, Maurice ended up being arrested and going down. It went down, so now she had to turn over to run the business. Um, let's see. Yeah, that was it. So later on, she ends up calling, or Maurice ends up calling, and they talk a little bit, just a little bit of stuff that's going on in their day-to-day lives. Um, Tiana was talking about some of the things that are going on as far as one of the trucks being down, and also the girls were getting ready to graduate. And Maurice says that he hates that he's missing out on this. Oh, also, Tiana did say, in regards to dating, she's not doing it now, but she's almost at her breaking point where no. But in a few minutes, you're gonna find out how many years he got. He ain't gonna be out tomorrow. Just to let you know. uh, Tiana. Tiana also got indicted. She said the feds were already looking at her when she got surrounded. She didn't know that she was going to get arrested, but she's a part of the case also. Um, when she got indicted, the truck business kind of stopped until she was able to get out there and work. She talks about the emotional toll that it's taken on the children. The girls, they're pretty emotional, and the son is acting out basically emotional too. Um, Tiana ends up inviting her sisters over. One of her sisters, Delijah, um, works in their company, and she's one of the truckers. Um, Ended up getting injured, and it kind of slowed down business because she's not there. Delijah is one of those people that Tiana can trust. She's always going to be there. She knows that nothing's going to happen with the business, with what the business is supposed to be about. It's going to run smoothly. They talk a little bit about both not finishing college, but both of the sisters grind, and she has 5 sisters in total. There's 5 of them. Normally they get together and they just have time at the dinner table. Today the sisters come over and they talk a little about the case. It looks like people want Tiana to just take a plea deal. And she's like, I don't want to do that, blah, 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 blah. Later on, Gigi, her nail stylist or technologist or technician, comes over and she talks a little bit more about Maurice. And we learned that Maurice got 22 years. Now, Maurice, I think if you could just be wise and unselfish, let her go. I think that she'll always be connected to you. Of course, you have children, but I don't think that she'll stop communication. But you're going to be gone. She's going to miss out on 2 decades of love. Y'all not married or anything to that nature. I think let her go as far as that is concerned. She talks a little with the nail technician, Gigi, about how things are progressing with her court date that's coming up. She doesn't know how. She's really trying to. She's put some pressure on children to act right, and she'll say stuff like, "What if I'm not here, and you're still doing this? You got to get this now." Da 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 da. So it's a lot on her. I hate to see her go through this, but this is all I got for these 3 episodes. They're pretty short, so you better go to their YouTube channel. I will have a link in my description and just check them out. There's like 2 episodes more and 3, and the drama is a lot. So I'll be coming to you with more. So please stay tuned, but make sure you do watch them. Check out the Compass Circle. Possibly you would like to get into the trucking business or know someone that has been wanting to get into it, and check them out. I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and also share it. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. Until the next one, peace.